An Easter egg in video games is a hidden object, feature or reference often meant not to be found by most players. They can be interesting, hilarious, silly, or downright annoying. But why do they exist? And should you be including Easter eggs in your levels? The first video game secret to be named an Easter egg comes from the 1979 Atari game Adventure. Because Atari didn't feature programmers in their game's credits, Warren Robinett secretly included his credits in the hidden part of the map of his game. The secret wasn't found until shortly after Robinett had left Atari. Initially disapproving, eventually Atari management came around to the idea, leading Steve Wright to coin the term Easter egg and encouraging their inclusion in future games. I believe if Easter eggs are done well, they can have a significant positive effect on your game. Let's look at some key reasons why adding Easter eggs might be a good idea. Number 1. Word of mouth. If an Easter egg is very absurd, topical, funny or puzzling, people want to talk about it with other people. Whether it's friends at school, colleagues at work or social media posts, it can result in wonderful word of mouth advertising. Number 2. Help your content creators. Content creators like YouTubers and streamers will rarely turn down a chance to produce easy content that entertains their viewers. Whether it's a list of top X Easter eggs, a segment about Easter eggs in your game on a stream, or a funny moments compilation, Easter eggs provide obvious but entertaining content for them to push out. The more content created about your game, the more people will hear about it. Number 3. Fun and engagement. When players realize there are Easter eggs in your game, many take joy in searching for them and in the final payoff of figuring one out. They're a light-hearted way to reward the most fervent explorers in your player base. Number 4. Strengthen communities. Fans of games with particularly mysterious or meaningful Easter eggs have often formed communities around sharing clues and discussing the possible meaning behind them. Specific Easter eggs and memes can create a sense of shared culture amongst your fanbase and help bolster long-term loyalty. In Valve's game Portal, the player can find a couple of Ratman dens. They're hideouts and little nooks and crannies spread out over the Aperture testing facility. Someone seems to have been hiding and living in the facility, leaving behind improvised beds, food and scribblings on the walls. They hint towards what was later refined into the character Ratman, a former Aperture Science employee who survived GLaDOS's takeover but succumbed to his schizophrenia. One of his scribblings went on to get a life of its own within the whole gaming community. The universe of Half-Life and Portal is heavily documented, researched and speculated about by online communities. Every possible clue found through Easter eggs or snippets of code is heavily discussed and debated online. Number 5. Deepen the narrative of your game. Sometimes there can be a thin line between Easter eggs and implied narrative, but in examples like from Half-Life and Portal, they can definitely be both. Having some of your implied narrative hidden or shrouded by mystery makes it a talking point in the community. This allows for an opportunity to create a lot more depth or expand on your narrative in a way that invokes curiosity. If you pay close attention in Bioshock 2, you can spot a part of the plane that the player crashes in at the start of Bioshock 1. Now that's continuity. If you want to know more about narrative and level design, check out a previous video I made on the topic. Number 6. Hype your sequel. Occasionally, while developing a game, you might already have plans in a backlog for a sequel. Or nowadays, the possibility exists for many developers to include new content and therefore Easter eggs in a post-release patch. This is too good of a chance to miss out on, creating some buzz for your upcoming installment. In a secret room in Batman Arkham Asylum, blueprints for a large expansion of the asylum can be found. A teaser for the upcoming game, Batman Arkham City. If a player discovers it as a secret, rather than the developer simply posting an announcement on Twitter, it is way more enticing for players to share the news and speculate with their friends. Number 7. Developers like to have fun too. Because of the complexity of the development process, scheduling, even when done well, is often far from perfect. Typically, this results in developers being very busy, but there will also be times when some of your team members won't have that much to do. Especially when there's a heavy dependency and they're waiting for another team member or department to wrap up their work. Quickly adding a hidden message or reference to the game doesn't need to take a lot of time, but can be a fun break from the regular job. Additionally, when the game development team gets to add personal touches to the game and create moments to break the fourth wall and engage with their audience, they build a much more personal relationship with the product they're creating, which can be a wonderful motivational boost. In general, being able to have a bit of fun at the workplace can only result in good things. I believe we've discussed plenty of reasons for you to consider adding Easter eggs to your game. If you enjoy my content and would like to see more, you can support me by leaving a like, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, happy Easter, and I'll see you in the next video.